Hey everyone, it's Felicia here. Welcome back to my channel. We are talking about breastfeeding. It is Breastfeeding Awareness Month, and I want to be transparent and share with you my journey so we can start talking more about it in the Black community. And we're going to talk about just some of the myths, the reason why I wanted to breastfeed, the benefits for breastfeeding, share my journey behind it, and then share just some of the tips I have and some of the pumps that I love to use. So here we go. Some of the myths behind breastfeeding all kind of just stem from us not talking about it. It not being just the norm in our community and in our conversations. For me, my mom didn't breastfeed me, so it just wasn't the norm. And I didn't know other women who did. And as a young mom and a first time mom, I started to have those conversations with my friends. And I feel like now it is just more common for us to have those conversations and to lean on your mom friends about what they're doing and some of the tips they have. And so I feel like women out there we just aren't having those real conversations. So let's start now. I did my own research behind it. And I knew that I wanted to because I knew all the benefits that it would have for my daughter and for her health, how it would build her immune system, and how, with everything going on now, having a daughter during COVID and then the health issues she was having, it just really confirmed it for me that I was going to breastfeed. But as you'll learn, you might have the idea and the desire to breastfeed, but can your daughter latch on, or your child, and can you produce the milk? And I think that's really what it comes down to. I unfortunately wasn't able to nurse, so my daughter did not latch on, but I exclusively pumped. So I had to just stop for a second and think about what was my overall goal. It was to give her those nutrients. If that was the case, then if she couldn't latch on and we couldn't have that bonding experience, it is what it is. We'll find other ways to get it. So I exclusively pumped, and it started from day one. You have your child, you tell them that you plan on breastfeeding, and the nurses know, and about an hour or two after delivery, here they come with that little tube top, cut out the little holes, and they give me my Medela pump and we start. And they give me the heads up of, you might not produce a whole lot in this first day, but around week 1 to 2, your supply will start to build up. And so what I do advise everyone is to get that lactation consultant. I also did a course beforehand just to learn about the different colors of your milk, how colostrum is those first 2 days and how important it is for your child to have that, and how your milk changes in colors, and so does your supply. So it's all about the routine. My lactation consultant, I would say tip 1 is to stick with that routine in your schedule. So if you're pumping every 2 to 3 hours, to continue that until your body becomes accustomed to it, because your body responds to how often you are pumping, and your child's nursing. So for those who aren't nursing, your child's not giving you that signal. Your body starts to give you that signal. So for me, I had to continue that 2 to 3 hours. And after about a week, my body became clockwork, and I could feel it. I could feel my breast getting big and saying, the milk is there, I gotta get it out. Or I could just feel the tingle. I could know that it was time to pump. And then, as I said, your body responds. So if you start to go down to 5 pumps per day, then your body's gonna say that's all they need, and it's gonna dry up your supply. So when you need that high amount of supply, you've gotta continue to pump. And that first week or 2 is the hardest. So make it as easy on you as possible. I made sure to have things preset. So as I go through and I share with you my pumps, I had them by my nightstand. I was pumping in those night hours, and I had things already set up. So my flanges and my bottles were already set up and attached to the tubing, and I just went. It was like clockwork. And that is what helped me, because the night shifts were the hardest for me. Wearing clothes that are accessible and that you don't have to always kind of sneak into another room. You can kind of just put maybe a sheet over you, or kind of be in the same room but have like a little bit of barrier covering you if you want some privacy. But wearing clothes that are easy to get to. So I had a nursing top, and I also had a breastfeeding and pumping, I should say, bra. and I will link those, but those together were amazing for me to be able to move through my day and sneak away if I need to go to the bathroom of some sort and pump. So one, sticking to that routine so your supply doesn't dry up. Two, wearing accessible clothes. And three, find a good support system. So whether that be a lactation consultant or your friends, and getting advice and tips from them, because it can be hard. And so for my ladies who are actually exclusively pumping, I would say the next is to make it as enjoyable as possible. I will look at pictures and videos of my daughter, because sometimes I was pumping while she was in the NICU, so I wasn't right next to her. And that helped my body kind of just go into that mode and release those endorphins. It's different when you're exclusively pumping versus when your daughter, your child latch onto you, and that warmth and the touch building that. Your body knows that. And that was one thing my lactation consultant said, is that the flow comes from when your child's close to you. So those are my tips for my ladies who are thinking about pumping or in the trenches and want to give up. You can do it. My pumps. All right, so I'm gonna share some tips. First, check your insurance. Your insurance should cover a pump. It will give you an allotted amount of money to cover your pump. I was fortunate enough, mine was about $470. And so I decided to splurge a little bit and get the Willow pump. And my whole idea behind this was going to be great for me when I was going back to work and needing to have an easy pump that I didn't have to haul around, and also just to have it in my bag and just a little bit more accessible. So there's two different types of pumps that don't have any plugins and that you can just insert with your bra, and this is one of them. I did some research and I really like this one. But I will say, for my first time moms, if this is day 2 and this is the pump you're using, it's probably not the best. This was something that I decided to use later on. I tried it early on, and when I used this compared to the Medela pump I'm going to show you, the InStyle, I got way less milk on this pump compared to the other. So when your supply is just coming in, you're trying to build it up, this is quite not the pump for you. This is more when you're a little bit more experienced and you've got your flow going, then you come to this pump. But what I love about it is that you charge it, there's a little battery to charge it, but you don't need to be hooked up at anything. So you can go around the house and do chores and do little errands you have to run and not have to be sitting down hooked up to something. That is probably one of the time consuming parts about pumping. But it comes with these little baggies. The baggies can be kind of expensive, but they just got milk containers. So now I can pump into the container and pour it into a storage pouch, and then clean out the container and continue to use it. These little baggies, they cost a little more expensive, but you can't transfer milk out. So once it's done, it's done. Once you're ready to open it up, you're done with it. So I do the milk container, but it's easy. Clip in here. This also has an app, and the app will tell you how long you've been pumping and how much milk you have in your bags, which is great. One of the hard parts is kind of aligning it to the nipple, but once you get it down, it goes and it squeezes, it attaches, it latches on, and there's different modes on this one, which is also great, that you get to control how powerful you want it to be if you're just starting out. So this is the Willow. This was $500. So I went through my insurance. I ended up covering about $25. There's also like a little promo code I used for it. And this was kind of the splurge I wanted to have because I already had a backup. So I will share a link below about where you can buy the Willow, but I like it a lot. It's a little louder than the LV. That's the other like competitor. If you're going for something that's a little more quiet, I probably would have gone with the LV, but I'm not complaining. The Willow has been pretty good, and especially now I can just slide it into my bag, be in the car really quick, pop them on, and really get my milk going. Okay, I think we all know the Medela. So this is the Medela InStyle, and it's the tote. Okay, so I got this, I shouldn't advertise this, but from a friend. And you're not supposed to have more than one user. I think it's just sanitary, not what you're supposed to do. But I ended up going to Amazon and buying all the tubing there, the new phalanges, the bottles. And so I only use this for the actual machine, the power. So if you have a friend that wants to give you their old one, I think that's a great route. So since I got this one for free and I went on Amazon and paid about 30 bucks for this new tubing, I thought, why not splurge on the Willow? So this actually has been like, this is such a good pump. Like I said, it's a little tote, so I keep this at my bedside. It has space in here for anything you might need, any extra bottles and phalanges. I also ordered a little bit of a power dock to it, so I don't have to have it in my outlet. It's already like a battery system for it right here, and it attaches in here. But it also does have different modes too to make it more powerful. But this one, since day one, worked for me. I was able to produce so much more milk. So on, let's say, day 4, I, in 10 minutes, could produce about 4 ounces in this. And in my Willow, about 1.5. So it just shows you how sturdy and like how reliable the Medela InStyle tote pump is. It comes in a backpack and it comes in other versions too. The tote was what was available, but this is the tubing that pops off. And like I said, you can just buy a whole nother kit for it. So I advise you, if you're just looking for something that you know it's gonna work and you know you're gonna get a good amount of milk from, I go with this. But then you're attached. So this stays at my bedside and I love it. I'm thankful that I have it. But between the two of them, it's been a great little like power team for me. And if I go back to work, like I said, this will be my home pump. And this will be my on-the-go pump. This is my nightstand setup. And I'm gonna be so transparent. Look, I got some milk here. It just, you guys, it happens. I try to wipe down as often as possible, but it happens. I'm all about being as efficient as I can. So I have everything set up. I pump right before I go to bed around 10. And then I have my biggest break at night. So I don't pump again until 4 a.m. and then 8 a.m. So I have it set up where it's already attached. I just have to hook it up and then turn on. So I like this kind of idea. For me, it works. And then I can set the milk out for up to 4 hours. So I don't rush right downstairs to put it in the refrigerator. I leave it out for like 2 hours to get some more sleep and then put it in. Usually I put it in front of the fan so it's still cool. And then I pump so often, I'm hungry. It takes all your nutrients away from you. So I got a snack and water to stay hydrated and some extra bottles just in case. Here is an up-close look at the Willow. So as I said before, the Willow comes with 2 pumps. You got your left side that's labeled here, and you got your right side. It comes with a charger, and you only get 1 charger, so you have to remember to charge both of them. I have been in a place where I forgot to charge one, and I just had to be lopsided. This is the back. It comes with the baggie, and then here's your little pump cylinder where the milk flows through here and goes right into the bag. It's pretty easy. There's little magnets on each side, so it just nicely attaches on to the pump. The pump you hold down to power it, and then you also get to press play to start, and you go up and down on how strong you want it to be. So you power it up, you hold down the start, and you can hear it. So that's about how loud it sounds when it's pumping. And then you get to press stop. And then here's what I was talking about. Here's the milk container. So these milk containers now allow you to have the milk flow into here, and then you get to open it and pour it into any kind of storage bag you want to. And these are reusable and you can clean them. You get these 2 little cleaners that you can clean out every little small crevice. This is where the milk flows through, right here, this little cylinder. So you want to make sure you clear this part as well as the opening. And that is the Willow.